on fishing on the South Island of New Zealand. I'm going to start in the Marlborough Sounds. So this is obviously this is New Zealand, and this is the South Island here. And I'm just going to scroll into an area where I used to own a boat, and this area here is called the Marlborough Sounds. This area in here, you can see my cursor there. And all of this area is pretty much similar sort of fishing here, around in here. Now, the advantage of this area is it offers some good shelter from the wind around there, and you get a lot of wind around there. So these little bays, these little fjords, whatever you want to call them, these provide, some good shelter in there. So anyway, there's some good areas where you can launch from. Picton, it's got a marina, it's got some boat ramps. Havelock has got some boat ramps. There is a place here called Okiwi Bay. They have boat ramp, and we'll go into some other places as well, a bit more in depth. If I can get this cursor on. Nelson as well is another good place. Port of Nelson here. We've got the marina's just here, you see, and there's some good boat ramps there. But apparently, I've never fished it, but apparently get a lot of wind there. But it's good for snapper in this area here. So what I'm going to do, this is a bit of a fishing guide for someone who's either just brought a boat or is unfamiliar with this area as a place to come and fish. The advantage of the Sounds here is for the South Island is that it does provide a snapper fishery. The snappers sort of, they don't really visit this part of the South Island down here. Okay, so so it's a place where you can go, where you can have a boat moored sensibly, it's a good place to go. So I'm going to start with this bay in here, Havelock, and this stretch Pelorus Sound is called. So we're just going to go for a few spots now. Here's Havelock. Here's the marina. There's a compound. There's an agent there who will look after your boat, and you can, as part of membership, you've got access to this boat ramp here. Okay, and you can go out there. You can steam out here, and this is called Cullen Point round here. So you go round there. Now, in this area in here, it is very shallow. But certain times of the year you can catch snapper in there. But I used to go to a place where I just steam up here, and there's a sound, Kenapanu Sound, just in here, this one here. And there's all these mussel farms, green shell mussel farms here, you see them, look? These ones here. You just anchor off there at certain times of the year, summertime-ish, I would say, sort of summertime, and you can catch snapper in there. Here's a good spot, just in there. Anchored bait fishing, drifting, whatever you want to do, but anchoring is predominantly the one. Off this area here, off this area here, in here, this area anchored up in here, Burlian. They do get kingfish in there as well, and some other species. I've had eagle ray in there, a carwai in there, bits and pieces, But I generally, I used to steam for an hour and 10 minutes in my boat. I used to go up here, up the Pelorus Sound. You can fish in any of these little bays in here. They all produce anywhere where there's mussel farms. Just anchor up and that'll do. But the fish get bigger and it's a bit more open sea out here. So anyway, I used to steam up and fish a spot around this area here. Beatrix Bay, look, in there. And I used to fish in this one here. We had school shark, snapper, blue cod, jack mackerel, kingfish. What else did we used to have in there? All sorts. You get there and then get groupers off here. A pooper off there. This area here, T-Rower, does provide some accommodation, some fuel. I think there's a fuel stop there as well. So there's all different fuel stops around the Sounds. There's another one here at Elaine Bay. Just here. Elaine Bay. Fuel there. There's another one. So anyway, so we're in this Beatrix Bay in there. So you can go a bit further round. You can drag for scallops and things in these bays here. Richmond Bay. There's some good shelter from wind in there. And also this one here, Ketu Bay. They get scallops there. There's some good diving there as well. Water's crystal clear. Loads of diving. Be mindful of sharks. They do all sorts there. You can catch abalone off the rocks. You get lobsters as well, or crayfish, whatever you want to call them. Good shelter in this bay here, in there, and you can probably anchor up and get snapper in there. I never made it round that far because that's a long way to go. I found the fishing was just as good in here. But you can troll around here as you manoeuvre into your new fishing spots. You can troll with like a ticer or sort of a metal spinner at the back of the boat. And you can catch kingfish and things like that. This area here is more outer sounds, and you're getting more sort of deeper water, livelier seas. And remember, you're a long way from sort of official help, so to speak. I mean, it is relatively safe to a sense that you can get to land around here, but bearing in mind, if you've launched right the way back in there, you're talking, you're good a few hours away, so you've got to be, mindful of that. You don't need to put extra pressure on yourself. But some people come up this area here for like the Christmas holidays on their boat, and they live on their boat for like 2 or 3 weeks. That's with all the fuel stops and they stop on fuel. But anywhere fishing wise, anywhere where there's a headland around here or further back in, wherever there's a headland, there's worth a fish. I mean, some of the blue cod are within sort of 10 metres of water. There's a lot more tide around here. These islands here are called the Chirtwold Islands. This area here looks absolutely fantastic. I've never fished it, but the fishing guide says it's really, really well. And if you're feeling really extreme, there's another, this is Stevens Island. There might even be some other rocks. There's something out here as well, but for me, that's getting a bit extreme at all. There's plenty of extreme people out there. That's pretty much it really about the Marlborough Sounds. Like I say, there's you just want to do your research a little bit online. And the information's all there, but this is sort of a bit of a guide to sort of if you didn't want to go and buy the guide, it sort of gives you a bit of information. There's a reef out here just off this area here. There's some Beatrix Bay. There's a reef here. You can fish that. This headland here is quite good. If you get round the other side in here, they get John Dory in there. Live bait for John Dory. Kingfish all the way around here. Like I say, groupers off this point here, Tower River, a point, wherever it's called. This one here, you can get a you get groupers on there drifting, but it's a lot deeper there. I had a drift there, it's a lot deeper, it's about 60 metres, something like that. Maybe more. But anyway, so that's that. Just another quick one. You can drive. You can take your boat. A Kiwi Bay is really good in here. You can take your boat there. You can launch it off this. There's a ramp here. It's not a very good ramp. You can launch it there, and you can fish in the middle here, out there. You can fish off these islands, and you can fish off these headlands here, around here, and they get some really good snapper there. It's Good for kayaking as well. You've got a kayak. And you can drive Lane Bay. You can do the similar thing there. There's fuel there. You can drive to the end here on a really shitty road. I've done it one night when it's pissing down the rain and foggy. You can drive on this crappy road here. You can bring your boat with you as well. And there's a boat ramp here, French Pass. Is there any fuel there? Yeah, I didn't think it was very good for fuel there personally when I was there. But there's some boats here, and some people live there, and there's a boat ramp, I think, just here or somewhere like that. You can tow your boat there. So you can see French Pass, look how turbulent that is there. Some good rock fishing off this point there. What else is there? This is D'Urville Island. Again, obviously got some spectacular fishing. There's a ranch on here where a lot of people with their boats, they'll go and stay there for 2 or 3 nights. This is that and the other. One round the other side as well, I think. Nice part of the world. Pretty windy winter time, but sometimes the weather's a bit more settled. And obviously Tasman Bay, they get some really good species in there. Get all sorts in there, snapper and all sorts. So yeah, so that's a brief sort of a very brief sort of insight to the Marlborough Sounds fishing. Might be useful to some people. When I went down there, I found I had to sort of learn everything myself. It's not all information's not all handed out to you on a plate. I found when I was there, so it's just for anyone who's either sort of is there already or is planning on sort of going or wants to do a bit of land-based, or some of the piers in Picton are quite good for if you want to do a bit of land-based. French's Pass, there's a pier off there, you can go, there's a bit of a long way to go. There's even a bit of land-based in Nelson, out near the marina. There's 1 or 2 spots there where you can play around and get a few bits and pieces with the kids or whatever. So yeah, there you go. Beautiful place in the world, but it is very it's very big. You need a certain type of boat. You need a lot of fuel. It's not just like your regular little twist and go sort of boat with a little sort of 10 litres of fuel. I mean, it used to take me from Havelock to go all the way to this spot and come back. I used to use about 60 litres of fuel, I think, to do that. So it's quite expensive. One day trip was quite expensive. As well, if you go to somewhere like Nelson, you can sort of get yourself out. I think you can get yourself out. It's more exposed there, but you've got a probably better chance of getting some bigger fish just out there. And O'Kiwi Bay, it's a bit isolated, but you can drive around and get to it. I'd probably advise someone to go to O'Kiwi Bay over French's Pass. That don't seem worth it, to be quite honest. That road is pretty like an hour and a half. It's really windy. If you're towing a boat, I mean, oh my god! And if you get flat tyres and things, you have mechanical problems. You would be screwed. So O'Kiwi Bay would be my best bet. And launch there, and you can steam out, and the open sea's just here. They get some good fish in here certain times of the year. And if you want to go somewhere a bit more sheltered, you could actually, you could go to Kiwi Bay. You could go in Kiwi Bay and Kennepanoo Sound. They get some really big fish in here. At certain times of the year, wind in there, so it's not always ears to the ground, but you'll find information out there. You won't know people have got information. So you really just have to go and fish it. But I'm just trying to think of the best time to fish December through to there's a period of time when the bigger fish rock up there. only realistic places in the South Island where you can go for a snapper. This area here, they don't seem to come around this area too much. The snapper are more this bit around this bit. It's a bit more, so they don't seem to venture down from here. The snapper. There you go. Give me some good feeders here. Right, so that is snapper fishing in March Sounds. We'll do another one, I think, on salmon fishing.